Human trafficking absolutely happens in the state of New Jersey.
And why do you think that?
I had the opportunity to sit in on a police training for law enforcement in New Jersey that was run by In His Image Justice Coalition. And they brought in trainers from the Human Trafficking Training Center. And the information that these instructors had for these police officers was so fresh. It was information that they didn't know. There's a statistic that says that only 1% of human trafficking victims are ever discovered. So that tells us that there's 99% of human trafficking victims that are still out there. They do not have a voice. And one of the biggest issues, and the reason why they don't, is because there isn't enough training for law enforcement to be able to properly identify and help and assist the victims of human trafficking. What oftentimes happens is they are overlooked, they're misunderstood, they're seen as prostitutes, they're seen as individuals who are willingly participating in this crime. And really what's happening is these victims are being forced into this through physical abuse, through emotional abuse, and they're forced into doing not only prostitution, but other types of crimes like credit card fraud and theft. And these traffickers have their victims involved in so many different crimes, and from the outside looking in, it can look like something else. And really what these officers need is they need the education to be able to properly identify and say, no, this is a victim. This is someone who doesn't have a voice, and they might be saying that they're willingly participating, but this is because they're terrified and they've been emotionally abused and threatened into this position. So this information has to get out there. Police have to be trained. And I believe that In His Image Justice Coalition is one of the only organizations that are attacking it from this viewpoint and enabling these officers to go in fully equipped to identify victims.
Do you think human trafficking happens in Jersey?
Yes.
And why do you think that?
From coming here, I did find out that it is in New Jersey, right in our backyard. It was quite unexpected. And when I tell people that it is, they kind of just look at me and I say in Arlington County, and I really just see them. But then when I say, and in Marlton, New Jersey, their heads literally go back. They're stunned. So I didn't move on and say it could be a grandmother, a grandfather, a neighbor. It could be anybody. So to get that message across that it's not happening in some other country or some other foreign place, but right in our backyards.
To prevent human trafficking from happening, educating the police so that the police is equipped and trained to know a person that is a prostitute from a person that's being trafficked. So preventing the people from being those lost and held captive, so that we can prevent it from happening.
Okay, and do you think this should be the mission of the church?
Yes, I believe with the church getting involved and the mission, because we are God's people, and we're the church, we're the body of Christ, and that's who God uses, people that are like-minded that come alongside those that are in need of help, set the captives free.
And why did you get involved?
Well, I kind of felt convicted to do something, but I never really made a phone call. And then I saw the movie Sound of Freedom.
Excellent movie.
And when I came out, it's so funny, there was a bunch of volunteers outside the movie. And you were one of them? Okay. And after seeing the movie, I definitely realized I need to do something. Because
we're glad to
worse
have
than
you.
we thought. Thank you.
And also, do you think this should be the mission of the church?
I really do. I believe the church represents Jesus, and Jesus was always the one who went after the lost and least of these. And if there's ever the lost and least of these, it's these poor people who are being trafficked. And I definitely believe the church should be involved. Absolutely.
Do you think this should be the mission of the church?
I think it should be a very important mission of the church. You know, we're all called to be God's hands and feet. And yes, yes, it should be one of the missions, and it's lacking in a lot of churches. Where the church that I belong to, they do have an outreach for human trafficking.
Right. And why did you get involved with In His Image Justice Coalition?
Well, I learned of In His Image Justice Coalition several years ago. I had a real passion for joining this fight against human trafficking, and then learned that we had an organization right here in Burlington County. So I looked into it and joined.